Kris Ringrose has incredible leadership skills, great communication skills, and she's here to tell us about operations and show us the money. Kris.
All right, check, check. Can you guys hear me okay? All right, well, thank you, Dan. That was awesome. I learned 2 things about myself. I'm a recovering hovercraft. These guys can probably attest to that. They're going, yes. And a fixer. I apologize. I'm going to get better, guys. All right, first off, thank you so much for taking time today and yesterday. A lot of you, I was so surprised. 100 people showed up yesterday for the breakout sessions. That tells me you're really, really wanting to learn, so that warms my heart. Here it is, June already. Before I delve into the meat and potatoes of my presentation, I just have to say a huge, huge thank you to you guys. You guys are incredible. The last 6 months, and you know I have to go with the days, right? That's 125 business days. 125 business days. You closed just under 6,300 units for over $1.5 billion. That averages out to over 1,000 units a month, and I'm going to frame that up for you and put a little perspective right there. The same period last year, you closed 3,300 units for $779 million, or just 560 units monthly. So year-over-year growth rate, 90%, almost double the volume. Yeah, give you guys a round of applause. Amazing, 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 amazing. And despite the turbulence that comes with literally doubling your volume, you felt that same turbulence within your branches, and of course you felt it at Mothership. You guys all remained laser focused on your purchase production, and it really, really shows. And I just want to say a huge thank you from all of Mothership and branch operations. Thank you guys for keeping us on our toes. It's my personal mission, and Marcus and I kind of joke about this all the time. It is my personal mission to turn the tables on all of you guys and have sales chasing ops capacity. So watch out. It's going to come. It's happening. We're getting closer and closer. Okay, today I have a brief 40 minutes to cover my topics. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dive right in. You know I speak fast. Dan, you hogged a little bit of my time, so I'm going to go really fast. All right, today I'm going to be covering a brief look back in the rear view mirror. So you guys know I always do that. I think it's really important just to take a moment to reflect on where you've been. It gives you some context and some perspective on where you are and where you're headed. Then I'm going to cover some tools to help you close more loans. Who doesn't want more tools, right, in your vast arsenal? Some of you may not even be aware that some of these tools exist, so I'm going to point some of them out to you. And then I'm going to close with a look ahead. Where are we going, right? We don't want to get lost, so we want to know right where we're going. Goals for today. First of all, perspective. I think I myself need this a lot. We're all very much forward-thinking and charging dead ahead, full speed, and we rarely take the time to take stock and gain perspective. And what that will do is it really can ground you in a sense of gratitude. So perspective, very, very important. Learning, how cool is it? You guys, we get to show up every single day, and we get paid to learn. That's pretty amazing, and hopefully that's a lifelong endeavor for all of us. And then, of course, excitement. Todd referred to this in his speech. He said, you know, business is just a game, right? What are games? Games are fun, and they should be exciting. So we're gonna keep all of those things, all those goals in mind today. All right, let's take our little stroll down memory lane. So the time frame that I'm looking at is from the last time I stood exactly right here at this podium. It was exactly 6 months ago, so that was in December 2014 through May 31st, 6 months. Let's, of course, check out the numbers. This tells a tale. So we had a very healthy December, 970 units. Typical January, took a little dip, 683 units. February started picking up, 781 units. And by the way, I don't count brokered loans, so. Incoming tidal wave, here it comes, right? There's the little picture there. In March, 1,237 units, quite a jump. And then we keep riding that wave, right? April, 1,246 units, and in May, 1,332 units. I dare say that this month, with those 3 extra business days, we're on track for another record. So all total together, again, you banked over 6,300 units, over $1.5 billion, but here's the best part. Even with the little mini refi boom, 75% in those last 6 months were purchase transactions. So that really solidifies your commitment to all of your realtors and builder channels. So really, really exciting to keep that focus. And we're actually trending in the mid 80% year to date so far. All right, January. So we think about this. Todd touched on this, so I won't spend a lot of time on this. Why did all of our numbers really go on a trajectory so steep? January, again, we closed 683 units. This month, we're going to close 1,400 units. That's more than double. Several reasons. First of all, historically low rates. Guys, I bought my first house. I was just reflecting on this. I bought my first house in 1989, 89 or 90. 10 and 5/8. And yes, I have a good credit score. Okay, 10 and 5/8, conforming, conventional. I just bought a house, just closed on one, 3 and 5/8. I mean, really, it's ridiculous. Historically low rates. FHA reduced their MIP. That created that little refi boom that we had. Couldn't really have predicted that, but it is what it is. And then coaching kicks in, right? So total game changer, guys. Coaching, it's been building on itself month over month as your commitment to coaching builds month over month. And then, of course, consumer confidence. Todd talked about this. Let's not forget that. Move-up buyers are back in the market. Short sales foreclosures, those borrowers who had those adverse events, they're aging out. They're back in the market. But here's the best thing. From all indications, as far as we can see, it looks like it's going to be a really, really, really great time and a great cycle for us. So we should be amazed and we should feel really, really lucky that we get to do this. All right, let's talk about new locations that we onboarded. So over the last 6 months, you're going to notice when I go over this, it pales in comparison to our typical locational growth, okay, over every other past year that I've stood before you. And this is because we made a commitment to focus our resources on organically growing all of you, our current team members, growing our existing regions, and working on smoothing out our processes. We're making a huge focus on our processes before we add additional branches to our teams. We did add a few, so we did add one new branch. One new branch. Have I ever said that to you guys? Just one. One new branch, Phoenix, Arizona. So that's head up with Jay and Tana Boersma. Where's Jay? Where is he? Jay, yeah, awesome. Jay is this branch. I can't say enough about Jay and Tana. This branch, watch out. They are going to be someone to watch. It's just amazing. I had the pleasure to go and visit your branch. Really excited about them. And of course, then they just promptly added 3 satellites out the gate. We added a satellite, Dan Miller, he's always growing his region. So he added Richmond, California, satellite of Walnut Creek. And then Jim Reed, wish he was here today, but he's always growing his region. He added a satellite in Texas. And then Aaron Denton, of course, he's not going to be left out. He added a satellite in Ohio. And then Dave Kammerer, he definitely doesn't want to be left out. He added just a seat in the House over in Vancouver, Washington to help him grow his region. And then rounding out the 6 months, we had 2 satellites come on board to really help Jeff Ehrenheim and Dustin grow the Colorado state. So in addition to that, we did add 21 desk rentals in several states to support the existing regions. And thank you, Al Miller, if he's in here. Thank you for your efforts there. And we added several new builder relationships. And that's thanks to Shirlene von Hoffman, if she's in the room, Shirlene von Hoffman's efforts and expertise. So you can really see that we're honoring our commitment to growing all of you guys and not adding a bunch of new branches, okay? All right, next slide. This map, you'll see, just look at the green. This map illustrates Summit's presence across the nation. So the green is all of the states we're licensed in. The blue represents a license in progress. And then the yellow, we have some licenses on hold, New York, Pennsylvania. Basically, you see, we are almost nationwide and where we're licensed, and I'm pretty sure we'll get there pretty quickly. Okay, we have covered the numbers. We've covered locational growth over the last 6 months. I want to talk about our number one asset, our people. It's official. We are 1,000, over 1,000 strong, 1,009 Summit strong. So when I started with Summit, that was 6 years ago, we had 200 people across the entire company. And so I have to tell you, it's so rewarding to be able to share this experience, and really, what is that, 5-fold? This experience with over 1,000 people. It's been amazing, so thank you, Todd. And currently, of those people, we house 295 at Mothership across the street and in our Campbell fulfillment site, and another 714 of those people are spread out across our vast branch networks. Okay, moving on. What does our servicing portfolio look like? So remember, it was about 3 years ago we became a Ginnie Mae seller servicer, and just about 2 years ago a Fannie Mae direct seller servicer. In that short period of time, we've grown our servicing portfolio to over 9,000 units for just under $2 billion. And so all of you are sitting here going, okay, well, yeah, so what? Why is that important to you? Well, some very specific benefits to being a direct seller servicer. First of all, client retention. So it's free advertising for you, right? Every single month, that payment coupon has your picture, your contact information, your phone numbers right there every single month in front of your borrowers. And even more importantly, due to that seller servicer status, we can set our own risk tolerances and make exceptions to aggregators' overlays. So let's talk about those exceptions. And this is just in the last 6 months, okay, the time frame's right up there. You've requested here collectively 341 exceptions. And of those requests, the admirable Miss Annette Battaglia, sitting over there, she granted 313 of them. I think she's being pretty loose right there. 313. Woo! Yay! That's an extra 52 loans per month. Again, because we're a direct seller servicer. And I want to point out we did remove some overlays here recently. Conventional greater than 80% LTV no longer requires that 3 trade lines. I think Mr. Blostein's probably happy there. You asked for that. VA greater than 90% cash out. That's no longer an exception. And conventional conforming, when you're paying off a revolving debt to qualify, your borrowers no longer have to close that account. The moral of that story is make certain you're paperless. And you didn't print the overlay matrices and squirrel them away because we change them regularly. So go on the internet and get those for you. Go paperless. All right, speaking of, we took the entire company paperless in these last 6 months. So I need to give a massive shout out. I don't know if Denise Cardoso is sitting here in this room. No, if I don't see her. She literally put her life on hold and traveled the entire nation to all 80 some odd locations for 6 months and trained you guys on paperless. And the good news is she is still married. Yes, indeed, her marriage survived. I think it's actually better. I think her marriage is stronger. Anyway, so I want to thank you and your comrades back at your office for really assimilating this change so gracefully. It was a massive, massive undertaking corporately, but you guys are all like, no big deal, it's fine. So that tells me she did a really great job and you guys did a really great job. So okay, paperless, big deal. What has it done for you, right? All right, well, besides save trees, which is important, we are in California, we now have one system of record. It's safe. It keeps our borrowers' information secure. Clearly, that's of critical importance, and frankly, it's a regulatory requirement, but your borrowers feel better about that. Secondly, it's more efficient. No more tracking down paper files. Do you guys remember this? Because it feels like we've always been paperless, but no more misfiled loan folders, no more getting up from your desk and roaming the halls looking for a file or yelling at people or beeping everybody, where's the file? It's all right at your fingertips. So it saves paper, saves money, saves toner, space, storage, etc. And of course, all your time it saves trying to find those files. Dual swim lanes are possible, and we're just tipping the iceberg on this concept, so we're going to get a lot better at this, but meaning we can have the approval specialist working on the order outs while the LP2 is perusing the e-folder. Loan manager has questions on a file. They can be on the phone with the underwriter looking at the exact same document while they're discussing those solutions. And then recruiting. Had we not gone paperless, we would not have been able to staff up in underwriting. If we were not been paperless, it would have been a world of hurt. We have a lot of underwriters across the nation. I don't know how many of you guys know that, but it's only possible in a paperless world. And then streamlined workflows. So we can deliver closed loans to the investor seamlessly, as well as our subservicer, our warehouse banks. Saves us time, saves us money. And last but not least, business continuity. So we've had some serious Midwest storms, poor Texas in the flooding, power outages, you name it. You have 5 loans that have to be submitted today. Your locks are expiring. Whatever your issue is, if you have a computer and you have internet, it's business as usual. Okay, so really, really critical keys that why we went paperless. And frankly, we've just really scratched the surface on what we can do with this. So phase 1 of paperless is out of the way. Now comes the fun part. We're going to start leveraging all those bells and whistles. Moving right along to your training department. What have they been up to? I'm thrilled to announce Summit University is up and running. So your training team, They are hard at work creating and posting new content daily. They're working on building out robust training modules for each new job function. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow people to learn on their own time, track and measure results. And below in green, if you pop, there you go, that's just a sampling of some of the curriculum that's currently offered. So it's really going to be a lot more robust of a learning system. Before, we were doing a lot of these things manually. Training department also automated many of the paper checklists that we use in our jobs, and the next step will be to leverage Encompass and actually take them automated. But they've actually taken away the paper, put them in the system, created 22 custom forms at all of your requests. So that helps you become more efficient and enable you to track and measure some of the results that are very specific to your market. And also, each branch location rolled out a dedicated trainer to them, which really builds relationship and helps with that consistency. All right, again, taking our little stroll down memory lane. What else has gone on in corporate ops? Okay, well, we developed, trained, deployed a CAST team. And might I say, it wasn't we, it was Miss Terry Young did this. So Terry, thank you for this. Great job. So CAST, what is that? That's the Corporate Approval Specialist team. Their sole purpose is to save you and your team's time. They currently fulfill for the entire company all the LDP GSA pulls, the FHA case queries, MERS searches, and we've been rolling out branch by branch. They've been taking on the branch cancellation process. And so coming soon, I envision them ordering 4506Ts, flood certs, INCO checks, fraud checks, right? They're here to save you and your team's time. So we're going to continue to make that more robust. We also held our inaugural Ops Retreat last month. That freaks me out. It feels like that was a year ago. It was last month. We flew in all of the branch operations managers. We spent 2 days together building relationships with their motherships teams. They met with their underwriting teams, their doc drawing teams, their funders and trainers and HVCC, and of course, best with each other, right? So a lot of time was spent sharing best practices, providing courses on time management, on leadership. The feedback that we've received was amazing. And what I like to see is I follow along some of these email trails sometimes, and they're really continuing that peer-to-peer learning. So we intend to make this, and absolutely make this an annual event, at least annual, maybe twice a year. All right. Let's talk about corporate processing team, your processing resource team. Last 6 months, 674 submissions. They closed 439 fundings. You can see with their average days to issue their needs list and their PTDs, they fall right in that sweet spot of KPIs that we're looking for, key performance indicators for the company. Here's the best part though. They assisted over 30 different locations in getting loans closed. So they really, really are providing a service. And we can't leave the deal desk out of this business. Deal desk in the last 6 months, this stat kills me, over 12,000 emailed questions. You guys emailed over 12,000 questions. That's over 2,000 a month that they got back to you. Doesn't even count the phone calls. So they're here to serve all of you. Use them. Well, you obviously are using them. Okay, what has your underwriting department been up to these last 6 months besides underwriting every single weekend? Yes. We launched phase 1 of the pods, okay? I say phase 1 because the goal is for each large branch to have their very own pod and not to have to share with other branches. What that will do is that will allow the branch to dictate 100% of the workflow within their pod. Really hard to do that, and you guys have been experiencing this when you share your pod with 3, 4 other branches. Really, really hard because y'all have priorities, right? That's our goal. That's why you see us diligently hiring and staffing our underwriting department. And then, of course, we rolled out time zone coverage. Basically, we cover the East Coast, the Midwest, and the West Coast. And every single branch ops manager has at least 1 call, if not 2 set calls every single day with their lead underwriter. The purpose of that is to problem solve and get to solutions faster. If you see this next visual, this is just a visual. Everybody has this. How best to use those pod calls. It's to talk about new file prioritization, conditions you don't agree with or can't get, and then, of course, escalate any decisions that you don't agree with. So that's the best way how to use the pod calls, and this just visually represents that. It's really just going back to our roots and how we do things. Here's the best part, guys. Are you ready? Ready to see a little happy face? Okay. You sure you're ready? It's official. Purchase turn times are down to 3 days. It's official. You can count on it. Yay! Woo! Probably the worst kept secret, because you've been seeing them come out in like 2 days. I'm sandbagging a bit and saying 3 because I know you guys have priorities. Here's the funny thing, and here's what I learned, so thank you for teaching me this. Even though you've been seeing your approvals come out, right? You didn't feel like you could count on it and commit that to your realtor because we didn't make it official. So it's official. Annette team, amazing job. They worked 18 straight weekends because you brought in so much business. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, what does our 6-month approval rate look like? So I'm going to define what approval rate looks like. Of all the loans that were submitted to underwriting, 85% of them were approved, okay? That is down from last year, so we have been having some spaghetti thrown at us a little bit. 85, it's still respectable. I want to see that back up in the 90%. So I challenge everybody. I want to see it back up in the 90% because, guys, that was in the low to mid 90s before, and we can get it there again, and it's a really great recruiting tool. But again, respectable number. Moving on to your doc and funding teams, frankly, I'm amazed, despite all the volume, that's 683 units to 1,400 in 125 days, they stayed at 1 day. Now, the 1 day might have come out at 10 o'clock at night. Sorry about that. But, they really did a great job. They've onboarded 6 funders, 5 doc drawers, including a lead, 12 funding coordinators. And we are beta testing true table funding in escrow states. Where is he? Oh, he walked away. Okay, mixed results, we're working on that. As the escrow officers get trained on how to do this, they are amazed, and this is really gonna help us out. And then, of course, we deployed the doc and funding teams as well, same with the underwriting teams. All right, that was a quick little review of the last 6 months. Now I wanna move on to just a few of the tools to help you close more loans. Guys, I don't know of another lender who has more product than Summit. So we have 19 different investors plus the agencies. It wasn't really 85, Todd, but 55 is a lot. 55 different down payment assistance programs, guys, 31 different bond programs, 30 different MCC programs, 7 jumbo investors. It's a cornucopia, a plethora product. It's a ton of product to help you close more loans, and we keep focused on that as well. Some of you might not have seen this amazing tool that Jane Krejci, Miss Jane, excellent job on this, and her team created to simplify the product offerings and save you time. So it might not look so great on the screen, but guys, this tool, it's a quick interactive matrix to get you the information you need at the click of a mouse. How do you use the tool? You look, basically find the bucket of product in that left-hand column, be it conventional FHA, VA. Then you're going to find the program within the bucket, say a conventional ARM. You're going to note that there's a hyperlink. That's going to bring you right to a matrix that breaks down the ins and outs, anything obscure about that product. And then there's also a hyperlink to the full guidelines. You don't have to look anywhere. You just go to this product matrix, find it, click it, you got it. And I got to tell you, at the branch ops manager retreat, this got a lot of oohs and ahs and said it would save the branch ops managers at least 2 hours a day. So find that tool. I'll tell you where in a minute. All right, the MCC Matrix, same deal here. Handy dandy MCC Matrix. Again, it's broken down by state. Hyperlinks direct you to additional information. Just another quick high-level overview of how we're helping you. Down payment assistance programs. Remember those 55 DAPs that we don't want to leave them out of the party? Here's another matrix. Jane has been matrix crazy over there. I love it. Again, broken down by state, and again, high-level overview with hyperlinks to the all of the information you need to appropriately and technically, as Mr. Miller would say, originate a loan with a down payment assistance program. And lastly, jumbo comparison matrix, high-level overview, quick snapshot of the differences between all 7 of our jumbo investors. All right, here we're going to come to the pièce de la résistance. The income and asset calculator, another tool to help you close more loans. Guys, #1 reason a loan lands on my desk after it's gone through all the process, we can say it's overly aggressive income calculations. I'm just going to say it's wrong income calculations. Okay, they're wrong. This worksheet, if we all use the same worksheet, we'll all be on the same page, right? So the LO, the LP2, loan manager, don't you want to know what worksheet your underwriter is going to use? Yes, that's a good thing, right? And this was actually a conversation Miller and I were having, And I did a fun little poll. I BCC'd. If you guys don't ever do that, do that. I BCC'd some underwriters and some loan managers, right? So then they all respond to me and they don't know who they're responding to. Hey, what's the income worksheet do you use? Annette came strolling into my desk with like 15 different versions. Okay, no wonder we're making some wrong income calculations. Okay, we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to use this tool. All those crazy red arrows at the bottom, those are all your different types of income. And this auto-calculates for you. And then at the end of the worksheet, it's going to show you all of your income reconciliation, right? The asset portion of this worksheet, it actually has logic programmed into it. It knows, you tell it you're an FHA and it knows that it's a retirement account. It will apply the appropriate percentage that you can use as an asset. Take the thinking out of it for you. I have to give huge kudos, Lisa Eves, Jen Davis, Annette Battaglia, and a most especially huge kudos to Matt Jacobsmeyer, who actually created this crazy Excel spreadsheet with all the logic. So it's yes. Take some of the thinking out of it. And where can you find all this stuff? On the intranet, right? Here's the deal. When in doubt, use the search function. It works now. It was broken, okay? I am going to acknowledge it was broken and it is fixed and tested. So when in doubt, use the search function, but of course all of these, what are they? They're matrices. There's a little tab on here that says matrices. That's where you find them all. All right, what other tools are being developed to help close loans more quickly, on time, and best of all, pretty? We want to close pretty, right? Summit motivation software. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Next slide, please. All right, don't get hung up with all the typing that I put on here. I'm getting 15 minutes, Mark, because he stole 5. If you just look at these colored tiles, what you're looking at is an individual loan officer dashboard, and I picked Mr. John King, Mr. Snowflake himself, okay? Don't make fun of his numbers because this was pulled like a week ago, and it was just a snapshot in time. He's much higher than this. But basically, this snapshot tells you how many applications have been taken in units and volume, how many files have been submitted to processing, how many are submitted to underwriting, how many final approvals have been issued, how many loans have been funded. You click on any of the tiles and it pops up. You see on the bottom those 4 loans. It pops up those 4 loans, right? And then you can drill down into additional detail. Next slide. LO Performance Dashboard. This is for some friendly competition. How are all you doing compared to all of your peers, right? Only the company statistics are going to initially display on the dashboard, but the actual loan officer stat, you can drill down, but only into your own loans. But you get to see where everybody stands and the rankings, so that's going to be super fun. All right, next slide, Origination Activity Pipeline. If you look at these blue bar graphs, say you wanted to click on, you wanted to know which locks are expiring in the next 3 to 5 days, you would just click on one of these bar graphs and it's going to show you exactly the loans. The top 2 loans that say, oh gosh, John has Ochoa and Jafar. I hope they funded because they had locks that were expiring. And I pulled this a week ago. They did? Okay, good. So anyways, very easy to get to that data and that information. You want to see processing activity. I know you want to be hovercrafts like me, right? Don't do it. But if you wanted to, you could. So this is the processing activity pipeline. What loans are currently in processing? You're going to click on the orange bar, and it's going to show you, gosh, they're still hanging out. They're not submitted to underwriting yet. Maybe you want to have someone chase those around for you because you don't want to do it. You want to delegate it. And the next slide, more of the same. Has your loan been submitted to processing or submitted to underwriting? You're just clicking on these bars. It brings up your own personal pipeline, tells you exactly where it is. Click over again. Closing activity pipeline. Where are my docs? Where are they? You're going to click on the bar. You're going to find out. Docs are drawn. Loans not funded. So basically, you all get the idea. You're always going to know where your loan is in the process at the click of a mouse. And what I'm envisioning with this is hopefully, can we cut down on all the crazy emails, right? No crazy emails and all the crazy phone calls and status. Let's just stop all that stuff. We're all going to be able to see it. It refreshes every 5 minutes. This is live data. So it's not going to be like you rip off a phone call and then something changes. Every 5 minutes, you're going to have the updated information. So really excited about this. Angie Yates is here. She's going to be at the Genius Bar. If you want to see this or have any questions, because I know you all attended the training, right? I know you didn't because only 50 of you did. So you need to attend the training and go see Angie and talk to her about this. Okay, last topic. I'm going to start to speed this up a little bit. Brief look where we're going. Todd already went over the playbook. Click, click, Tracy, click, one more. Thank you. Todd already went over the playbook. Basically, 5 defining objectives we're working. Staffing, obviously, we're working on this. Operations, achieve the key performance indicators on 80% of our files. That's what Summit Motivation is all about. Compliance, roll out TRID. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Fun. Guys, work on putting the fun back in Summit funding. You get that? That's marketing. Funding. Again, I think what we do is we really focus on the 5% of stuff that goes crazy. This was Jana Ketching. She was telling me this on one of her observations from traveling the branches with me. She said, you know, we really focus on the 5–10% of the struggle rather than the 90% successes. Kind of turn that around. You'll have more fun. And then lastly, automation, leveraging Encompass. All right, I wanted to go into TRID, but due to time, I'm not going to go into TRID. So find me at the break if you need me. I will say only 4 quick things on this. Simply put, effective new applications, August 1st, you're going to have a couple of new forms. No big deal. You guys know what these are. You haven't been hiding under a rock. Definition of an application is now going to be very strictly defined. That 7th field about dating the 1003 and signing the 1003 doesn't matter. Think aliens. Think aliens. Address, loan amount, income, estimate of value, name of borrower's social security number. You have an application. You are disclosing within 3 business days. No more waiting until you're super ready. Another change with TRID, if you have your borrowers e-sign, they're going to need to e-consent. This isn't new. I've had to do this. It's not new. It's new to us. No fees can be collected until the 3rd business day after the borrowers receive the loan estimate and the borrowers expressed their intent to proceed. Let me waylay some of your fears. All of you are sitting here probably wondering, oh my God, are we going to wait to order the appraisal? No. We will still order your appraisal. We don't want to delay you. We will still order your appraisal. We don't want to delay you. And within his branch, Miller's going to order them on purchases. However, we cannot collect the credit card information any longer. And you're also wondering, how do they express intent? They're going to tell you verbally, and you're going to document in the system. The fee tolerance changes are happening with TRID. Again, here's one of the, I guess I'm going to just sum it up this way, the $100,000 question. With the new mortgage disclosures, are they going to delay my closings? Okay, the answer is going to be no for just about every single one of you if you do a good job up front and ensure you know the rules. We're going to make sure you know the rules. Only 3 changes, only 3, require a new 3-day review of that closing disclosure. That's if your APR increases by more than 1/8. Guys, that's been a rule since 2009, newsflash, so that's not new, okay, big deal. If you add a prepay, newsflash, we don't do loans with prepays, no big deal. And if your basic product changes, if you go from an FHA to a conventional, I mean, come on, if you're doing that 3 days before you're going to close, I think everyone's going to kind of expect delays, so I think we're fine. Moral to the TRID tale, deep breath, breathe into it, we got this. We're going to make sure it's a smooth transition. We have a lot of testing underway. Tina's heading up this team, and it's going to be amazing. All right, redisclosures in-house. We're going to start July 1st. We're going to start with 1 branch, and Jay has been so fabulous to actually volunteer to be our beta. We're going to start redisclosing in-house. Why? Todd mentioned the fact I can have 5 or 6 people do what 200 people of you are doing, and muscle memory, they're going to do it over and over and over, and they're going to be perfect at it, and it's going to free up your teams. So we're really excited to roll that out. We will perfect it. We will do it right. I've heard all of the anxiety around the timing, so we will make sure we do it right, and we're going to do a heck of a lot of testing with it. I want to introduce regional operations managers. Guys, we have not done a good job providing support to your branch operations managers. They need support. Your branch managers are pulled into 5,000 different ways from Sunday. We want to go ahead and hire a couple regional operations managers. Their top three functions in that role: relationship, support, and process improvement. I want to congratulate Janet McLaughlin. Stand up. She's going to be our SVP hiring these regional ops. Janet runs the deal desk. She runs corporate processing. She's going to run the CAS team, and she's going to head this up. She's going to support all of you, support your branch managers and your branch ops managers. All right, big ideas, rolling right along. I'm probably out of time. The CAS team, we talked about that. I'm going to be more robust with that. Smaller pods. I want every large branch to have their own underwriting pod team. We are hiring, next slide please, an Encompass programmer. Super duper excited about this, guys. I know I'm probably a nerd, and I'm like, yay! We've already identified this person. That person is going to fill the gap between the application specialists like Tina, Terry, Denise, myself. We know what we want the system to do, and we're a little dangerous with business rules, but we're not programmers. We're going to have a programmer. We know what to do. The programmer is going to program it, automate some stuff again, free up your time, free up our time, cut down on all that crazy double checking. Lock corrections, I want to acknowledge they're clunky. We need to smooth it out, and we need to speed it up, acknowledging that there's a team working on that as we speak. TQL, we're going to roll this out. What the heck is that? It stands for Total Quality Loan. In a nutshell, basically, it automatically orders 4506. It's going to track the progress of your fraud checks, your Maven checks, all from one screen. Again, I'm looking to corporately fulfill this, and I'm looking to put more information up front in the system to help catch red flags to you. We plan on rolling that out again in a staged process in July. So I'm just going to end with this. Incredible 6 months, guys. With that came some turbulence, right? We all felt that around fulfillment, and that was across the entire company, most especially at Mothership, but across the entire company. Turbulence is dying down. We're entering a lot smoother waters. I can actually feel it. So keep focused, stay positive, and really celebrate how truly lucky that we are. Some of you are aware my father passed away in March, and you know, an event like that sort of triggers some perspective, right? I started this talk with perspective, and it really gives you some appreciation. So I decided in his memory that I would share a lesson from Joe every now and again. That was Dad. So my dad had one saying, it really stuck with me, really made me think about it. It's one of those things that just kind of gets to you and you carry around with it and you think, what did he mean by that? And it's really, really fitting to our time in the industry as we're all so, you know, crazed and incredibly busy. He'd tell me, he'd say, Kris, no matter what the circumstance, never lose your humanity. Now that's going to mean something different to all of you, but it ties to me very profoundly to our playbook. It reminds me why it is that we do what we do, and it really is to change people's lives and to do so with humanity and gratitude. So I'm grateful to all of you. Thank you very much.